Good morning, class. My name is Mr. Oliver. I will be your Earth and Space Science teacher for the next 180 days here at good old Boone High School. It seems like everyone's here today, so we're off to a good start. Let's keep it that way, guys. Looking at you. All right, I just passed out an assessment. It's just a quick little assessment just so I can get to know you guys a little better. It's not for a grade, but it will come in handy for the next assignment I have planned next week. So you might want to fill it out. While you guys are filling it out, a little bit about myself. My name is Ryan Oliver. I'm Mr. Oliver to you guys. I've been teaching here for about 2 years now, going on my third year. It's my third year. I got a few videos to show you guys. So keep filling out your paperwork. Just watch it as you go. Hopefully I'll teach you a little something about maybe strengths or workforce skills, anything like that. Finding your purpose, super important, at least for me. This first video was with a good buddy of mine. He did a little alumni show back at FSU, Florida State University up in Tallahassee. And he had interviewed me for recent alumni. So, take a look.
Hello, welcome back to the FSU Alumni Spotlight. Today we're going to continue talking with Ryan Oliver about his experiences in the education programs and other things like that. So, Ryan, you said that you are finishing up, or you finished the education program.
I did, yes.
Alumni thing.
Yes.
So, what made you want to pursue teaching?
Well, mainly the fact that it's constantly changing. And one of my strengths is adaptability. So I really enjoy finding out how to deal with those strengths and whatnot and stuff. But I've always had trouble with lack of interest or lack of motivation. But I really think this field and how much it changes will really keep me interested.
Yeah, there's always something new every day that you gotta approach.
Absolutely. Every year, it's awesome.
So you mentioned that you are very adaptable to situations. So I would assume that means that there's a lot of skills that you've acquired to help you prepare for education.
Oh, absolutely.
So why don't you tell me a little bit about some skills that you think have been really important to you along your journey, or that you think are very important to just education in general?
Definitely some skills that come to mind would be punctuality. Definitely punctuality. Time management.
You don't want those pink tardy slips.
No, you don't. No, not as a teacher. Time management is a huge one. Responsibility. And honestly, I really think compassion is a huge one too. You have to be able to understand what your students are going through and try to help them out in the best way you can.
Well, that's an excellent answer, I would have to say.
Absolutely.
So you started at Valencia, is that right?
Yeah.
And you finished up your education stuff at FSU.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't you tell me a little bit about the steps that you took along the way to get here and then eventually graduate from FSU?
Well, starting at Valencia, I had gotten my AA degree. Everything really fell into place after one of my first classes was New Student Experience, where I learned all my strengths, all my skills, not just my strengths and my skills, but how to apply them.
And where they would be like best suited?
Exactly, yes. And that was a turning point right there. I knew my strengths, I knew my skills, but I didn't know how to apply them efficiently. After that, I started taking better advantage of my resources that was available to me, such as like the Writing Center or the Academic Center. I didn't know anything about college, honestly, but that class really helped me out in advancing my academic career. After Valencia, I had graduated with my AA, and I transferred over to FSU for their environmental science degree.
Interesting.
Exactly, yeah.
So you want to teach science?
Yes, Earth and Space Science in high school. That would be one of the education areas that I would want to do. And I think that environmental science would kind of transfer nicely over into that Earth Space Science.
Oh, definitely.
Mm-hmm. About 3/4 through my year, I applied for a internship at Leon High School. It's just right across the street, basically, from FSU. And I did that for a while to gain a little more experience. I just applied for a test to get my certification from the Florida Department of Education. So I'll have my teaching license here pretty soon.
Those are important to have.
Absolutely.
No matter where you are.
Yeah. And here we are now.
All right. So obviously college is always expensive.
Absolutely.
I mean, no matter where you go, it's going to take a lot of money.
Yeah.
So why don't you, to give some advice to others, why don't you tell us a little bit about how you actually came to fund your education of education?
Okay. Well, in total, it was probably around $22,548. Well, it's still fresh in my mind. That's a lot of money. So,
Just a little bit.
yeah, pocket change. While I'm working, I really can't focus on school. So I wasn't really working throughout my academic career, except for back in when I was a teaching assistant early on. But I really took advantage of all that free money, scholarships. I applied for any scholarships that would that I was able to, any essay scholarships, any skill scholarships, all that stuff. So I got a little funding from those. But I would say my main source of income would probably be Pell Grants. Pell Grants were a huge, huge part of how I funded my school. And the rest, I got applied for an unsubsidized loan from the government. So, which in about 6 months, I'll have to start paying off. So, not ready for that. So.
Do you have any sort of plan in place for dealing with the loans?
Once I finish up everything down here or up here in Tallahassee, I'm gonna move back down to Orlando, Florida. I'm not sure if I'm gonna pick up a job just to right away instead of sending my application out to other high schools. But my plan right now is to just send out applications to high schools and cross my fingers, hope my qualifications are up there.
All right. Is there anything else that you want to say to the other students that are going through education right now?
Really, just stick with it. In my career interview, way back, like probably 5-6 years ago, something like that, I interviewed Cindy Hutzel, who was at my old high school. She's an English teacher instructor for Boone High School, and she said, just stick with it. Just stick with it. So there's going to be challenges along the way, and about 80% of the students in our generation that become teachers quit after 3 years. So just stick with it. And that really motivated me.
All right. Very well said. Well, that was all the time that we have. This, again, is Ryan Oliver, who's just finished pursuing education. And we'll see you next time.
Learning your strengths and skills, the fundamentals of yourself, is super, super important because they will guide you wherever you need to go, wherever you want to go. Now we've got enough time for one more video. This is with someone named Kyle Stewart, another actually really good buddy of mine, even though it doesn't seem like it in the video. He interviewed me on one of his shows, 30 Minutes, for Teacher of the Year. So, please enjoy.
Welcome back to 30 Minutes, and we are joined here today with a very special guest. Why don't you introduce yourself for us?
It's great to be here. I'm Ryan Oliver. I'm here for the Teacher of the Year Award. Let's get this interview started.
Well, we're not going to waste any time. Did you have any role models that helped you get to where you are today?
Actually, I have two in particular. The first person would be my brother's sister, who teaches elementary school. And she was a big help with the process of becoming a teacher, especially taking the tests and getting the certifications. About 8 years ago, she had taken all that stuff recently, so she was really helping me out. The second person would be my old English teacher from Boone High School, where I work, actually. It's pretty awesome. But she gave me some really good advice. And basically it was that just stick with it. and keep going, because there's always going to be challenges that you have to face. And especially with teaching, it's different every single year. And that was part of the reasons why I chose this position. But she said, just stick with it, and you'll get there one day.
So you discussed the people that motivated you to get to where you are, but what steps did you personally take?
Well, so it all started at Valencia College, down in Orlando, Florida. It's a small community college where I had gotten my AA. After that, I transferred to FSU. The first year in FSU, I just kind of was getting to the swing of things. But my second year, I went to the Career Help Center, and they helped me apply for certain positions within the community for teaching experience, where I had landed a job as a teaching assistant at Leon High School, which is just a skip, hop, and a jump from Florida State University. And after that, say about 3/4 of my way through school, in my last year, I had stopped and started subbing while I still could to get a little more experience by myself. After that, I had applied for a test for the state of Florida to get my teaching certificate, my teaching license, passed with a 90, and moved back down to O-Town after I graduated at FSU, and basically sent out my resume and applications to local schools, high schools, and got a job at my old high school, which was pretty great. And here I am today.
And what difficulties did you face along your journey?
Well, mainly it was I never been one to initiate. So going to talk to teachers, talking to students, just terrified me, honestly. Even back in school, going to the help centers, like the Career Help Center, like I had gotten my job before at FSU, or like the Writing Center, anything like those. I never initiated. It was either due to anxiety or I was just lazy. I really don't know. That's been a huge burden on me. Also, I suffer from adult ADD, so I have lack of motivation, lack of interest, lack of focus, and I don't take any medication for it. But through all these years, it's been real tough. It's been tough.
What steps did you take to overcome those problems?
Mainly figuring out my purpose, learning my strengths and my skills, and adapting them to certain situations has really, really, really pulled me through. Back at Valencia, like 10 years ago, something like that, 7, 8, I don't know, lost count. But I took a class called New Student Experience, where they taught me all my strengths and my skills, and I learned how to apply them. And I learned my purpose. My purpose was to find a career where my strengths and my skills would be utilized efficiently, and to find a career that would make me happy. And I think teaching is that career.
So tell me what a day in the shoes of Ryan Oliver is like.
So a typical day in my shoes consists of waking up at the crack of dawn, probably around 5 or 6 a.m., something like that. I hate waking up early. It sucks. I'm not a morning person, but after I've had my coffee, it's hunky-dory. I would show up at class, get my lessons ready, make sure they're all prepared. When my students get in, I would assign them a quick assessment or maybe a project or something like that. I would have them grade their own papers. So I'm not the biggest fan of grading, but if I did, I have to. After school, I would stay back a little bit, punch in some grades, start planning my next lesson, probably finish it when I get home, and spend time with my family, go to bed. That's basically my typical day at work.
Now, I know you guys are like, dude, we really don't need to know this about you. Well, that's fair. That's fair. But what I'm trying to tell you guys is to find what you're passionate about, what you guys want to do, and think about yourself, your strengths, your aspirations, and apply them to what you want to do, because that is going to get you to where you're going. You have to figure out not how you want to get there, but why you want to get there as well. Now we've got a little bit of time left. I would actually like a volunteer. from the class? Volunteer. Nobody's raising their hands. You in the back, that tan shirt? Yeah. I don't care. I'm the teacher. Get up here. Come on. Come on. How's it going?
It's going well.
So, a purpose statement is a statement true to yourself. So, something that you aspire to be, something you want to be, something you want to do. It could be anything. What do you think your purpose is? Probably to find a job where my strengths would be utilized and it would make me happy. That's very good, actually. That's kind of similar to my purpose. It's kind of scary. All right, well, thank you so much. Have a seat. Awesome, 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 awesome. So that's all the time we have left for class today, guys. Think about what I told you. Remember, that's not due for a grade, but it will help you out next week. I do have an assignment planned. So have an awesome day, guys. I'll see you next class.